I think that another way that I help students with this understanding, like that the path to purpose thing, is that I'm open with my story. I tell them that like my path was really nonlinear to the classroom. I started teaching my first teaching job at 30 after a master's degree in geology and thinking I was going to get a PhD. Deciding that I didn't want to do that, working in like an engineering lab for a couple of years, trying to figure things out, and moving from New Orleans to Wisconsin for grad school, and then staying here. Um, and I was that straight A kid. Not necessarily in high school. I mean, I went to a magnet, but in college, I was a straight A kid because that was just my identity. Was like I am doing this, and I can talk about that now. Like that was a ridiculous way to, like, I would drop classes if I knew I wasn't gonna do well in it. But yeah, so I mean, I think that I closed myself off to experiences by not being willing to accept that grades were not that important, and I didn't even figure that out until much later in life. But now, like, I took a class in the fall. It was just a certification class for just an online environmental science thing, and it was needed. It wasn't like we weren't getting our grades, but it was scored because that's just a way that she makes sure that people complete the course essentially within a reasonable time frame. And it felt gross. It, like, as soon as that happened, I felt so much stress over so much more. Like I was taking the class because I was interested in it and because it was something that was cool. And I still did get a lot out of it, but there was in the back of my head, there was this like the little like grade demon telling me like, you got to do well on this. You got to get in. And I think it was like you had to get 80% or something. I mean, it wasn't even that. She was not a hard grader. It's not like it was, there was no reason to believe that I was going to not pass and get certified for this thing. Because it really was just a placeholder. But I still like that. It like triggered that part of my brain from forever ago that worried about that kind of thing. And it just felt gross.